Is this downloads? Okay, so anybody else who got in late? We're just gonna go through the. We're gonna go through any questions anybody has, and then with whatever time we have left over, I'm gonna try to introduce the last project. And if we run out of time, we'll do that Wednesday. So. Did I get your email? Probably got it. I didn't look at email over the weekend. I'm sorry. So, question: the help of Space Game. Okay. Yep. So we'll definitely look at that. Is this opening? All right. So let's see what we can. Okay. Well, hopefully some of those might be similar. Let's just close this up for now. And let's use Chrome for this. Let's have every single browser open. Okay. We can probably get to the bottom of this one real quick, though. Just set my files to spacegame. Go over it whenever. If issues is running to we sort of talked about last week. Okay, cool. All right, so expected new before P add cards. Okay, let's check that out. So 426. Okay, so add cards and okay, return total. I actually think it might just be yelling at us because of the capitalization. Could be wrong about that, but yeah. So that specific thing is because of the capitalization. Okay, and then these are spacing, so those are just fine. So if we hit this with beautify, that should clean up some of that. Okay, so now that's cleaned up. Okay, so that's Ryan's. Okay, so just to recap, all I did was you had a capital P and a capital D in your function name here, and you should not name functions with a capital P unless they are going to be returning objects. Okay, that's just a convention that's used in most object-oriented programming languages. You technically can, and this is why it wouldn't create an error in JavaScript in the browser, but it's just a bad. It's bad for humans when when people see it, they're just going to be confused, like, oh, that looks like an object declaration. So that's that one was relatively straightforward. So let's I'll upload that for you. Okay, so and it might seem like that is a little bit picky, pedantic about JSLint, and this is why a lot of people don't like JSLint. However, they are wrong. And if you ever get the chance to check out on YouTube any of Crockford's discussions, Douglas Crockford's discussions about JavaScript, he talks about the problems with JavaScript, and he addresses all of those with JSLint. So the reasons why the error messages appear, like that one, are because of some of the issues with JavaScript. So it helps you to safeguard your code against some of the issues that you may not even be aware of. So you can just avoid an entire class of errors by just making sure your code validates in JSLint. All right, so on to Sarah's issue. So let's download that. And since we have a bunch of these, just communicate if any of that doesn't make sense, whether that's yours or not. If what I'm saying doesn't make any sense, let me know. Either by voice saying "Hey you" or in the chat. I might not catch it right away in the chat though. All right. Did it download or not? Oh, oops. Where'd it go? Did it just open it? What is happening? Here it is. Okay. Just didn't show up right away. Okay. Okay, so this is Sarah's. So my.deal deck appears like I don't have a function. Is that the only issue? Okay. Okay. Cool. Nope. Nope. Good. 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 Okay. Unexpected player wallet in statement position. Okay. So what I always like to do is, yeah, you have some of these issues down below, but sometimes issues above can impact the ones below. So I do always like to clear up the ones top to bottom first, and sometimes they'll magically clear up some of the ones below. Okay, because they, they might be the same variable, or there could be an impact on the things below. Okay, so let's take care of some of these up above first. So line 82. Let's see what we got going on here. So we have player wallet equals default play. So we don't need this. We're repeating player wallet here. We don't need that. Okay. So we can just retest it again. Okay, undeclared, clear interval. This just looks like a spelling mistake, so that's easy. Just flip the E and the A around here. And undeclared deck, 345. Okay. So here we go. This would be, you have to do the underscore there. Okay. Okay. I don't know what's different about this for me. Okay. Number is not a number. Okay. 366. I think it's just is not a number, right? Undeclared. This is just a typo on 377. Just an extra. So most of your errors are just like mine. I make so many typos. I'm terrible. So I'm good at finding them when other people make them. Number.isnat. Yeah, it is number. Yeah, I'm sorry. So I totally just, you were more correct than I was. Number.isnat is just lowercase. Okay. Unexpected semicolon, expected and semi 382. Okay. Okay, so this we just need a semicolon at the end, and the reason is this is a statement, so we put a semicolon at the end of the statement. So we're setting this equal to this function call, and so the function call itself doesn't have a semicolon, but this statement that we're setting it equal to has a semicolon at the end. So it's confusing. It really is, and most languages you wouldn't use that syntax, but you get used to that after a little while. Undeclared by update by ID. That's just a typo. Beep, 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 beep. Yeah, that's, yeah, okay. Okay. Expected and saw array 422. Same thing here, I think. What are we in here? Yeah, this is just this is the end of that, so this needs a semicolon. Probably. I'm gonna beautify this too. I think that's gonna. I think we're going to get a bunch more errors at some point here that are going to be found. Declared player image 481. So you see how I'm just kind of going through these one at a time. And so this is player images. Same as this. Player images. Okay. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. You'll get that. Like it's computers are dumb, and you know, and in they keep promising that we'll have better tools. Here we're just missing a semicolon. Probably. Maybe more. Okay. So, weird relation. Okay, so this is probably just a parenthesis missing, I think. Is it 573? Yeah. Okay, yeah, because we have a complicated line here. So, let's see here. So, while, okay, parenthesis. Okay, so we're missing a parenthesis here. So, this outer parenthesis has to match this one. Okay, so we need, well, I mean, I guess it doesn't have to, but it really, so, well, this one does. So this one matches, so this should match that. Okay, that's fine. This matches this. That's fine, I guess. This matches this. That's fine. Oh, this is length. Maybe that's what it's yelling about. This is this. This is that. Okay, that's fine. And this is that one. This is this. And so you want to say less than or equal to dealer score? Yeah, so it's just this. I know, it's weird. Welcome to computers. Yeah. All right. So, okay. I think that's right. All right. So, I'd probably find some other errors now, too. Yeah. Unexpected space between dot and pi ID 318. Oh, this is a semicolon. Interesting that I didn't catch that before. Unexpected space 440. Okay, so unexpected. Okay, so it's saying unexpected space between dot and for each. Okay, so what we need to do is we have to have the for each on this line. Okay, so, and sometimes that's just, there are reasons for that. Some languages don't require that, but expected one space between this. Same kind of thing here. In theory, the spacing shouldn't matter in some of these cases in JavaScript, but it does because of semicolon injection, which is a bizarre thing. So like, yeah. So like this, these need to be on the same line because of that. So yeah, I should have caught that the first time around. So I would always do this sort of thing, I think. I think this is how I usually do it. Something like that. Maybe those will all be wrong though. Yeah, maybe. Let's see. Expected one space. What does it still want? Those one space between. Let's see. Can I do that? I don't know how that really helps us, but well, maybe it does. just because it's so long. Yeah, and there's a reason why the syntax has to go a certain way, and JSLint just kind of enforces the stupid rules to protect us from ourselves. So it's just checking for that. And that's not your fault. And I sometimes forget exactly how that's supposed to go to. For really long things. There we go. Okay. So that should be good now. I don't know if that's going to make it work, but at least we got your syntax errors good to go. So does that make you good for now? Does that help? Okay. Okay. Well, let's just take a quick look, see if it works. Let's just see if it works real quick. Okay, so new. So these aren't working yet. So we are getting some errors here. My.dealDeck is not a function. My.dealDeck is not defined. Okay. So on 449, okay. So, all right. So let's look at that real quick. So that's an actual error. The first actual error that I think is not a typo. So, all right. So we're calling it on 449. That's probably not where the error is, though. Okay. So 449, we're calling deal deck. Okay. But so somewhere in here, in where we're saying my start round equals, we should have a my dot deal deck. Okay, so we do have a my dot deal deck. Did we spell it differently? Yeah, so we spelled it. You spelled it with a capital D here. So you just have to fix that one way or the other. Yeah, either way is really fine, however you prefer it. So I'll let you do that. So I will upload this back to Canvas for you. Yeah. All right. So where did I put this? Okay. Did I close that off? Eek. I have to log back in here. All right. So let me just upload that real quick and then take whoever's next. Anybody else have any questions about anything that was on there that we looked at so far? I'm doing this to share so that we have okay. Javier, if you have code, maybe put that up. Yes. Yeah. Okay. Mm-hmm. So that I was just saying like that's a potential way you could do it. So like that's how I did it when I did the game. Um, so yeah. Mm-hmm. Um, yeah. So you pass like whether the dealer or the player is the winner or loser, and then it does the action accordingly. So yeah, let me just get this uploaded real quick. I think so. If I follow what you're saying, I think so. Yeah, yeah. Made a dealer say that again. I'm sorry. Um, okay. Yeah, let me just take a look at those. Let me just take a look at what we have here. Yeah, so 17. Had a starter, didn't I? Yeah. Didn't I give you guys a 17 starter? Did I delete that like a moron? Let's create 17 starter. Okay, well, hopefully this is right. All right. So, okay. So, you're talking about in the like winter area? Okay. Okay. So in probably in winter, right? In stand. Okay. Okay. So, all right. So let's just look at how I kind of did it. Um, oops. And I do kind of want you to logic through this on your own, so you don't have to do it exactly like I did. Uh, yeah. No, that's okay. That's okay. And that's not your fault if you don't understand. That's my fault. So, all right. So, uh, okay. Okay. So in stand, um, let's see. So we have the while. I have a while loop here. Is this what was confusing to you? Because if the because if so let me think. Um, yeah, if the well, yeah, because if the player score is greater than the dealer stand, then um, we would need to um, add a card. So did I do this wrong? Maybe I did this wrong. Let me just think this through. So while this and this and this, or this and this. Um, okay. Player score is less than dealer stand and equals dealer score. Oh, okay. So the idea was that you would still take a card if the player, if if the player, So I was thinking so backwards on this. So okay, so if the player stopped at 8, okay, then you would still take a card. Okay, so both of these would be true then. Okay, both of these would be true. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay. So because it wouldn't fall into this case where it's less than. Okay, if it's equal but it's less than the dealer stand, then you should still take another card. Because if it's over, then it should be a tie. But it's not like why should it be a tie if the player was too stupid and didn't take a card. Okay, does that make sense? Because otherwise, you could always beat the computer by just stopping it at the without ever hitting. You would always win. Without this, you would always beat the computer. This forces you to sometimes have to hit. Does that make sense? Whoa. Whoa, sorry about that. I don't know where I got cut off there. So the anyway, this once this is shared again. So this code here, this forces you good. Okay, okay. All right, good. All right. All right. Well, I lost all my chats now. That's rude. What? Why is my microphone off? Stupid computer. All right. Is that good? Happy Land? Maybe? My little bars are moving. Must be good. My coffee's cold, though. That's no good. Okay. So I think you're good. So, space game things. Whose are we looking at next? I'm sorry. I lost track of where we were. So, I think April had one. I think April might have been first. Okay. So, we'll get to everybody. We might not get to our new stuff. So, if you guys have lots of questions, I'd rather that anyway. But, so, if it's not boring for you guys. Okay. So, space game. Okay, so April's question on here. It says, for my game, I want to spawn the. Well, I can just put this on the screen too. For my game, I want to spawn the branch image a total of 5 times, but in random positions. So I added it into the my draw objects function, but it still only spawns once. There's no error code for it in my console or JSLint, so I don't know how to fix this. Also, I've tried to make the branch disappear after it collides with the player, and a visible function doesn't work with it. So I deleted it. How would I go about making it disappear? Okay, so if the branches happen to be like multiple enemies, that actually ends up being a little more difficult than you might expect. So doesn't mean it's impossible, but means you have to either duplicate a bunch of code or find a different creative way to deal with things. So, which can be fine. You just you might not expect some of that. So, so let's look at that. Okay, so draw a player and branch on canvas. Branch, branch. So, yeah, so this is not going to help at all because you're just redrawing the exact same thing. So this is just doing the same thing over and over again. Okay. So you're literally just drawing this and then drawing the exact same thing again. And then drawing it again. So what you need to do is create multiple branches. So you'd have like, you know, this one you could maybe make branch 2 and branch 3. But then you'd need to duplicate that code elsewhere. And if you find some code redundancy, you might want to, you know, consolidate that. So I think that's the tactic I would take. Does that make sense? Awesome. Okay, good. All right. So, beep, 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 beep. And, oh, I have to download that? That's weird. Oh, and then so this was Morgan's question, where it's leaving these trails behind. This is caused by not by changing your image graphic for your player or your enemy, but not changing the size in the code. Okay, so the size in the code has to be the exact same size as the actual image. Okay, so for example, I probably didn't want to close that completely. So for example, let's pull this in here. And maybe that already makes sense to you guys. But so when you have an image, it's going to have a pixel dimension of, you know, a width and a height. And you need to make sure that matches. So this is where if you have enemies and you're using different image sizes, for the enemies, you have to figure that out. Okay, you have to figure out a way to specify the image sizes. So if you use something that's not 150 pixels wide by 78 pixels high, you have to adjust this, and it has to be exact. If it's off by a pixel, it's going to leave that extra pixel on the screen every time, and that's where you get that trail. Okay, so hopefully that answers that. Excellent question, though. Happens all the time. I probably mentioned it in passing. I actually was making a paint game. I actually have told that to people. I said, just say you're making a paint game and then call it done. All right. So, do you have anybody? You have something else, Cole? Other than that, did you put your code up in here somewhere? Oh, email. Email? Like a caveman. No, it's fine. I'm logged out of my email, so I gotta do my two-factor authentication. Highly secure UWGB email system. Mm. Okay. Okay. Clean these up real quick. Okay. Let's just drag this whole thing in. All right. So what kind of problem are we having? Okay. Yeah, I see your message there, Morgan. As much as possible, I like to go through them in class because I know it might seem like everybody, like, oh, I'm having my own unique problem, but you're not the only one, and you shouldn't be the only one. We're all doing similar things, so you should be having similar problems. Yeah. Oh. Uh huh. Yep. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Okay. So what are the issues other than the music not playing? So you're saying it gives you an error when you run it? Yeah. Okay. All right. Let's just try this. Okay. Okay. So the spacebar works. The arrow keys don't work. And and you want the arrow keys to fire. Okay. All right, so let's take a look at that. Okay, so which ones are which here? So bullet left. All right, so you don't even want to use spacebar, right? No. Don't you want to just shoot when you hit the arrow keys? Right? Wouldn't that be easier? I don't know. Okay. So, okay. We'll have to look into the background music thing. There's probably some kind of hacky way. So, navigate right down. So, okay. So which ones are which here? Let's see. This is the actual arrow keys. No, these are the letter keys. Yeah, okay. And these are the arrow keys. Okay. I'm going to confuse myself by these. Okay. So you want to have it be able to be mixed. Well, okay, so the only advantage to that would be if you wanted it to be able to shoot diagonally, but then you're going to have additional logic in the shooting function that I didn't have, because I only let it shoot in right angles. So then you don't really need this. You don't need these at all. Or you could save this for, you could do something like that later. Okay. What's start key down? What's start key code? Oh, that was for the music you were trying to do. Okay. All right. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah. Okay. That's fine. Okay, so navigate. These should all be fine. So bullet set direction. Okay, so I would just be. Let's see. Okay, so what we want to do here is just say direction equals right. Unless you changed anything else, which you may have, but if you're using like what I used, I just used a string here to keep it kind of simple. Oops. Okay. And this isn't helpful here anyway. Nope, that's fine. That's fine. And if you don't want this, we don't need this at all. Nope, that's cool. That's cool. Nope, go for broke, man. Go for broke. You can always copy it down later. All right. So let's just make sure this validates. Just because I'm a scaredy cat. Unused space key code. Oh yeah, okay, 326. Oh, oops. I want. Let's see, line 326. Yeah. Oh, yeah, that's right. Wait, what? I shoot. So set direction. So you wanted to pass the keys in. Okay. Okay, so don't need that. Don't really need pressed at all. Okay. I don't know. I'm probably breaking stuff here somewhere. All right. Let's see. And then we want to. Where did I jump too far here? Okay. So this. So we just want to set the direction here. We actually don't even need this because we're not using it. Okay, yep. And keys equals space code. So what we want to do is we want to say if keys so one thing that you might want to have is, let's see, we want to do like, come on, no. Okay. Let's see. B. So what I would like to do is, okay. So I would use this. Yeah, we want to use index of. Okay. Yeah, let's see. Can we use? Well. Let's see. Is maybe I don't want to do that. I just want to know if it's in there. I don't want to use index of necessarily. Includes mango. Okay, so this is what we want. Fire fruits. Okay. So we're going to use this includes here. Okay. So, all right. So what we're going to do is, it's going to seem like convoluted syntax, but I think it's more clear than a big nested if. I'm just going to flip between these. Okay. So we're going to use this includes. Okay. Okay. So instead of the if keys, we're going to use if. Oh, am I not? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Oh, whoops. When it blipped off before, I probably turned that off. Moron. I don't know why it hung up on me before either. That's super weird. Okay, so all right. So what we want to do is we want to include the all of our stuff from up above. So all of our key codes. So our bullet left, bullet right, bullet up, bullet down. Okay. So I feel like this is more clear. You can do this any way you want, though. So where is? I just feel like this is another way to do this other than just a nested if. So bullet up, bullet down, bullet left, bullet right, dot includes, and then keys. Okay, because that value, if the keys is in this set, then this will be true. Okay, so now we have to make sure this fits on multiple lines here, which is just as bad. So I think, is this lower than 80 lines? Just barely not. So actually, if we just do this, we're probably good. Okay. So you could make an argument like this isn't any more clear than the other way, but I feel like it gets rid of a bunch of ands and ors and all that kind of nonsense, right? So we're saying this is an array, and we're saying if this array includes this value, if that's true, if it's one of these items, then execute this stuff. Okay, that should work if I thought my stuff through right. So let's double check that I didn't introduce any typos here. Unexpected, comma, where? What? Unexpected period. Oh, is it not going to let me do that? Can I not do that? No, it's not supposed to. I've never actually done it this way, truth be told. Let's see. But this is the kind of thing that, is not string includes, array includes. But this is I think a better way to approach it. I haven't done this in JavaScript this way before. Yeah. So that includes array. I should be able to use an array literal there. Why can't I do that? Array of constants. Can I not have an array of constants? Should be able to have an array of constants. Is there a problem with an array of constants? Okay, so that should be fine. Ugh. Well, let's see. So we can just say whatever. Var direction. I don't know. Bullet direction equals. This doesn't really save us any space now. And it wasn't about saving space. It's about making it more clear. So so this is kind of the goal. And so Unless there's something I'm just not understanding. Otherwise, we'll just do a nested if this causes us strife. Expected let and savar. Fine. We can do a let here. Is it because it's constants? Oh, okay. Unused start theme. Unused start down. Unused enemy top. That's fine. Expected space, unused audio. So this shouldn't cause us syntax errors anyway. So let's try running this. Or I mean, it shouldn't cause us runtime errors. Just refresh this for good measure. Now it's not moving at all. So we screwed something up here. Well, I probably introduced another error somewhere. Oops. All right. I should revert back to what you started with. So, all right. Anyway, did we gain anything there, or did we just lose? Yeah. Okay. So the main thing is, I don't think you don't need to set those flags because I don't think you need to fire diagonally. I think right angle firing is fine. So I think you should try that. So maybe at least clean that stuff up and see if make some of those changes and just see where you can get with that. Maybe get back to me on that. Yeah. Yep. 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 And that's what I was trying to say with the like if it's in this array, I must be thinking of that wrong somehow. Well, no, I mean that should work. I don't know why it's not firing though. There might be an error somewhere else. I might have deleted some extra code I shouldn't have. That's a problem because like the idea is like the browsers are all trying to stop auto playing of music. So and you know like any tricks you use, like they're trying to shut the tricks down. You know, so it's tricky. Yeah, yeah, it's super weird. Like it almost it has to be like a yeah, it has to be like press this and then it immediately does the sound. Yeah, I mean it has to be that sort of action, like firing a bullet or you know something like that. Yeah, yeah, it's really dumb. Yeah, I mean you should be able to turn that on or off site by site, and you can like you can mute a tab, and the first time it goes to a site, like you know what, like you know how like an app you install an app and it asks you permissions to do stuff. Sites should just be able to ask you, "Hey, I'm going to play audio. Is that okay?" Yeah, yeah. And it's like if you say no, well then it doesn't play the sounds. But like let the user decide that. Like I don't know what the problem is with that. Just like playing tricks to turn it off, that's insane. But oh, you can go into the settings and permanently turn it off as a user. You know, as a user, you should have control over that. But like the default should be to ask questions. It shouldn't be to just like remove it completely. Like that's crazy. Well, people thought they wanted it because like we're moving to the websites being apps basically, right? So like you want to get updated when CNN has a new news story and But yeah, every website, does every website have news updates I want to see? Hell no. Right. Well, on the desktop though, maybe you do want to have it notify you. On a phone, you'd use an app for that. So, yeah. So I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I have most notifications turned off now too. I think people go through a curve where they turn everything on and then they realize that that is worse than having nothing turned on, right? So, yeah, and then you're like only important stuff. Right. 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 All right, how much time we have left? Almost done, right? Let's see. Well, I'm gonna just show you a pretty picture of the project, or should we look at Morgan? Should we look at your 17 thing, or do you want to wait, or do you want to just do it some other time? I will defer to your answer on that. Otherwise, we'll just. Oh, okay. Well, if there's no Morgan here, then we will totally show a pretty picture of the uh, next project. So, do I have that in here? I do not. So, okay. So, actually, I'm going to stop this so that we can have a separate